Hi, I'm Kevin Gallagher, Technical Marketing Engineer with F5, and I'm here to demonstrate how you can integrate F5 SSL Orchestrator with Cisco WSA Virtual Edition. In this case, we'll be configuring them as explicit proxies. In this example, I'm using BIG-IP version 17.1, SSL Orchestrator version 11, and Cisco WSA Virtual Appliances version 12.5.5. And in this example, we assume that you have SSL Orchestrator already deployed and with a topology. In this case, it's an L3 inbound topology. So let's go ahead and review the configuration. We'll start with the WSA virtual machine settings. If we look at this here, we've got this VM network here that is actually used for management, and then the WSA egress connection is for the explicit proxy connections from F5 to the WSA. And you can see we have this configured on, we have two WSAs configured in the same manner, with the VM network for management and WSA egress for explicit proxy connections. If we look at the networking component and we go to the WSA egress 1, you can see that we have the BIG-IP and both WSAs configured in this port group here. Now let's go ahead and look at the actual Cisco WSA configuration. You go to Network and Interfaces. You can see this one is configured with the M1 management interface here. P1 is 10.0.0.25/24. And if we look at the other one here, and we can see that this one is configured for 10.0.0.30. One important note here under the settings, you want to make sure you have this option here enabled to restrict M1 port to appliance management services only. Okay, one other important configuration on the Cisco WSA side is the default routes. So we go to Network Routes, and you want to make sure for the data traffic here that the default route points back to the self IP on the BIG-IP itself. All right, now let's review the VMware settings for the BIG-IP. And if we look at the network settings, you can see we have this VM network here for management. We have the WSA egress connection for the explicit proxy connection to and from both of the WSAs. And then we have the network north and south taking care of connectivity to the north and south respectively. Now let's review the actual BIG-IP IP settings. Well, let me check the VLAN first. We have here an egress VLAN that's going to the WSAs, and then we have the network north and network south VLANs. And then if we look here, we can see the 10.0.0.1 on the egress VLAN, and then these other addresses here are used for north and south connectivity. So let's go ahead and add the WSA service. And we'll go to inline HTTP, select the Cisco WSA HTTP proxy, and I'll call this Cisco WSA. We'll uncheck the option here to auto manage addresses. In this case, we're going to set it to explicit, and we're going to use this 10.VLAN here for the to service configuration. And then we'll have to add the IP addresses. And here's one of them. In our case, we were using port 80. And then the other one, .30. All right. And then for the from service configuration, we're going to choose that same self IP or VLAN 10.1. And then you want to make sure to set this to automap. And then we need to make sure to add the Cisco WSA to the existing service chain. And we will save and next. Go ahead and deploy. Successful. All right, so we have the SSL Orchestrator dashboard loaded here. The Cisco WSA shows up in green, meaning it's healthy. If we look at the service itself, we can see that both members are healthy and good. So let's go ahead and test this connection now. We'll go to a client computer on the south side of the network. I have a web server configured at the address 192.168.0.5. And as you can see, I can refresh this here and the page loads successfully through the SSL Orchestrator and the Cisco WSA. I also have another address blocked here, 192.168.0.99. So if we refresh this as well, we can see that it is blocked by the Cisco WSA policy. And we can even look at the dashboard to help verify that connectivity is working. And you can see that there is activity here just from the testing that we were doing here. That's all for this. I appreciate you taking the time to view this, and thank you very much.